Nordmeccanica strongly believe that metallization and coating lamination will still be one of the major drivers in the development in this business.
There has been a lot of development of new materials for metallizing. How do you see these changes impacting the metallizing industry's standard practices?
Materials like PLA or others, they are all in the game. They are not really present at the moment or picking up a big portion of the volume of the market. They simply represent an alternative solution, feasible, but not yet economically advantageous unless regulations somehow will impose them. We have active 5 big projects because the solution will not come from one single step or individual step of the process.
Today I have with me Mr. Vito Signore. Mr. Vito Signore is a 65-year-old mechanical engineer with over 40 years of experience in operations management, primarily within the BOPP packaging film business, working for some of the most significant players worldwide, such as ENI, Mobil, Exxon Mobil, Treofan, Manucor, Jindal, and others. Alongside his primary role, he has had the opportunity to develop specific knowledge of management systems practices across various areas, including safety, quality, performance, engineering, services, organization, and people management. Notably, Mr. Vito has led 6 major grassroots investment projects, ranging from plant layout and asset design to the startup of facilities, all of which were successfully completed, 4 in Europe and 2 in North America. Additionally, he has amassed extensive experience in cost reduction and organizational redesign projects, including the shutdown, closing of unproductive lines, plants, all fully accomplished. Mr. Vito has enjoyed an international career and is fluent in 3 languages. Following the COVID pandemic, he has chosen to spend last period of his professional life back in Italy permanently, focusing on learning new things and transferring his experience to the younger generation. For him, Nordmeccanica and mainly the Cerciello family represent the perfect fit for all these endeavors. I welcome you to this podcast, Mr. Vito.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Right. So, Mr. Vito, I'll start off with one question. So, in the recent times, there has been a lot of development of new materials for metallizing, like paper, biodegradable materials like PLA, polylactic acid. So, how do you see these changes impacting the metallizing industry's standard practices?
Well, it's not a straightforward answer that can be given to this question. It's true that in the past years, the entire market, let's say the packaging business in general, but the world market has been looking to the design or creation, let's say, of new structures in the direction of, let's say, satisfying the design for a circular economy. You know, the sustainability, the recycling is taking the major attention, let's say, of the market in these days. This is true, but by the way, to be said that is not going to be a very quick change or a fast change, or a switch, like we normally say, is going to be some kind of long journey. Will not be easy and neither fast, and this is making also the horizon still quite far. We are still lacking regulations that are in progress but not yet well defined. Is not yet understood very well when these norms or new norms of regulation is going to pick up and become effective regionally, globally. It's really, there is a lot of uncertainty. So in this scenario, it's true that is the trend, by the way, where the market is looking is clear, but is not at all clear yet, which will be first of all, the solution or the solutions, because there will not be only one, that will become, let's say, the preferred solutions for the future of the packaging world. Said that, in addition to that, you need to consider that in this movement, The global market of packaging today counts, all included, something like 13 million tons or more in terms of demand, overall demand. So with such a big volume, and it's quite robust, I have to say, and is still some kind of growth mode. It's not declining in terms of total volume involved or total demand involved. This is not only plastics, of course, is also including some paper or other kind of structures or materials. Nevertheless, of course, you understand that the newcomers or the new proposed solutions should also make sure to the users the availability of raw materials, the secure really the supply. Not only that, but also guarantee the minimum, in terms of economics, the minimum possible cost that up today is by far much higher than the conventional structures. So you see, or we see the combination of going in parallel for a long, some quite long period of time, the traditional structure and the newcomers that will only pick up in a small niche so far, but they will develop as economics and availability of raw materials will develop as well. The problem, if you call it problem today, for the players in this field is that the direction is 100% clear. Who will be the winner or where will be the focus of the new products, new solutions coming is not yet clear. So there is a lot of effort nowadays to come and to find possible solution. Now, said that, in addition, I have to say that anyway, the focus that has been, or the effort that has been done so far has already developed several new structures, to mention monomaterial PE or polypropylene or polyethylene, or paper-based solutions, or as well non-polyolefin-based raw materials or materials like PLA or others. They are all in the game, and by the way, they are not really present at the moment or picking up a big portion of the volume of the market for the reasons I said before. They simply represent alternative solution, feasible, but not yet economically advantageous for, unless regulations somehow will impose them, or some of it, and making it, let's say, interesting also from economical point of view, as well as the availability of raw material is not yet granted to some extent as needed eventually for the future yet. You were asking about what are the additional, how the industry is moving. Within this scenario, let's say of course, the direction is mainly to see at the monomaterial structure, okay, whatever it is, including paper and sand, with the job done to create the functional or the functionality, let's say, of the structure needed by as thin as possible substrate or layers of materials. Now, in these, let me say that the coating as well as the metallization, the metallization coating, in general, the coating is in a key role, let's say, or is in the possibility to play a very key role for the future, because by definition, metallization is one of the thinner, especially if you look at alloys nowadays, is one of the thinner substrates that can create functionalities on the plastic film. So in this respect, we strongly believe, and Nordmeccanica strongly believe, that metallization and coating lamination will still be one of the major drivers in the development in this business. Okay. And this is why is actually playing a big role in making a big effort in this development.
Right. So, Mr. Vito, carrying forward what you just now said, about the focus on sustainability, monomaterial films, solutions, etc. So, getting more into the specifics, what is Nordmeccanica doing to help its customers reach this goal of sustainability?
Well, let's try. It's not it's not very very simple, but let's try to summarize it in a very few, two or three concepts. Basically, the strategy of that Nordmeccanica is pursuing. Let's start from the reality. Nordmeccanica took over Galileo brand in 2014. In total, if we look worldwide, Nordmeccanica counts today more than 500 metallizers running in the world, everywhere. And this is, of course, giving us the possibility to have a very consistent feeling of what the market is looking at us, because we are required every day from our customers about can we do this, can we do that, can we improve here and there. So we, through this background, let's say, and through this network of machines, we really touch what by reality where the market is looking. At the same time, the combination with the, let's say, the issues or let's say improvements needed by our market, by the market through the service department, is also giving us a huge amount of indications what is needed to improve overall the situation.
Okay.
Due to that, and thanks to that, but not only, in 2021, so 3 years ago, I should say now, in the middle of 2021, Nordmeccanica elected to duplicate what they had already on the lamination side. So we have installed an industrial machine, although it's the smaller size, 1.3 meter, that is named a demo machine, so-called demo machine, and it's used 100% for R&D developments.
Yeah.
In-house, of course, with in combination with the demand or request of trials, tests, and so on. We offer these to the customers, and the customers comes and we have been doing over the past couple of years a tremendous amount of trials, tests, getting, of course, improving our database, our knowledge, and the results. And this is mainly focusing, has been mainly focusing on new materials, basically all on new materials, or either alloys or other kind of film properties that today are becoming a bit more required in the marketplace. Now, said that, the milestone, let's say, of this process, of this strategy, has been first to be there to offer to the market, let's say, something to be more specific in satisfying what the market trend is showing today. So in the middle of 2023, at the middle stage, let's say, of this research and development, the Nordmeccanica has been launching a new series of machines named Engine,
Okay.
which is very specific refocusing of the design of the machine to what the future is going to deserve. And given to the level of uncertainty, just to be clear, these machines is not moved, let's say, from, let's say, the traditional concept of having a machine dedicated to either polyester or cast polypropylene, or a set of materials for which the machine is properly designed to.
Mm.
The concept here is to have the most possible versatile machine in terms of web handling that can, and also not only web handling, but also all the other characteristics of the process that can be able to use any kind of product that will eventually develop in the future. So whoever buys a machine today should not be afraid that after 3 years, 4 years using polyester, polypropylene, cast PP today, we should not be, let's say, in the position to lose the possibility of converting after 5 years when the new product, whatever it will be, will phase out. Okay. And of course, because we talk about investments that machines are still running after 20, 30 years. So the shelf life of a machine, it's a long period of time. So whoever investor is spending his money today will not like to see the machine not ready to be used or not possible to use after 10 years or after 7 years. So this is also a reason why at the moment requests are really becoming much more complex and much more detailed than they were before. Besides the most versatile, of course, we did a lot in terms of redesign of the process. We took the advantage of fixing all kind of issues that were phased out in the past years at the customer on existing machines as well as in our lab, thanks to the development done on the demo. And so the new design is taking all in all these features, including, by the way, outstanding new devices in terms of control and capabilities for alloys, the position of other materials than aluminum and things like that. Of course, this has been a milestone, let's say, in the middle of 2023. At the moment, for the next 5 years, you need to know that we have active 5 big projects. These projects are done, of course, cannot be done in isolation because the solution will not come from one single step or individual step of the process. You need to work in partnership with the full chain of converting from the raw material supplier to the end user. And of course, we are involved in these projects with the university as well, the University of Parma mainly. Parma, is for the food packaging is one of the most relevant university in Italy, of course, being in Parma, close to Barilla and to other major players in the food packaging use. And of course, these projects have very specific targets, each of them. But of course, now subject of NDA and others, I cannot disclose much there. But for sure, in the future, in the near future, we have a very clear horizon of development of targets to be achieved and challenged to be taken and eventually addressed as they come. And hopefully, the fact of having these organization facilities all located in the one plant in Piacenza, in the headquarters of Nordmeccanica, you understand, makes the possibility to have the test and the results, the testing done. The University of Parma is half an hour distance from Piacenza plant, so it's very fast so we count also on this aspect, on this logistic aspect, to be faster and to be trying at least to be first in arriving to the solution and finding solutions in the marketplace, because no discussion, who first arrive, first take the position in the place. Okay.
Yeah. And Mr. Vito, you have such extensive experience in this industry. So what, according to you, are the current technical challenges in metallizing and how are these being addressed? I mean, I know you covered quite a few, but if you would like to spend a little more time on this, it'll be great.
Well, yeah, the technical challenge, I said already, is milling, not knowing exactly which specific product or properties we need to align. Of course, as I said, one of the big challenge in general is the functionality of the layers as thin as possible. Now, no matter what is barrier coating, metallization, alloys, not alloys, whatever, or aluminium, not aluminium,
Yeah.
you can see around many names of functional layers that are required to be, of course, functional, but at the same time as thin as possible. This is in general one and this is valid also for the substrates. In addition, the substrate, of course, they look for the not only to get much less influence in the weight, the total weight of the packaging. So the down gauging has been already a process running in the film industry since long time. But this is also reflected into the research and the structure of new monomaterials, let's say. Beside that, other big challenges is, of course, the fact, as I said already, that new materials do not have, the majority of them do not have an history or a background of converting properties such as metallization, as well as barrier properties coming from the metallization or the coating or whatever. And of course, last but not least, the materials, starting materials that have their own performance in terms of barrier, not at all existing or even much lower, really far away from what polyester has today, assuming that polyester or EVOH are the targeted substrates to be replaced. Okay, so it's starting from using, let's say, new substrates that are unknown in some respect in terms of behavior. So you need to go through trials, testing, and understand and really find on the way the solutions to make them, if you want, comparable or even better than the traditional product to be replaced. And of course, in saying that, it implies that challenges will come along the way in the use of the product at the process level, because when you see, eventually you can find the material that shrink really a lot during the converting, and so to keep it well stable in the process, of course, it requires a lot of additional changes that can only be done when you do it. Cannot be studied because there is no background basically in many cases. And this is why also the fact of having a lab, a development lab, is also one key tool for the development of the future.
Okay. And then do you see the applications of metallizing also moving towards solar and battery, etc.?
Well, we do not see too much on solar. There is quite a substantial business already established in the insulation panel for the buildings, constructions. We have already customers using the machine in this specific field, as well as we see a very big demand of developments in the battery, energy battery, mainly for the engine, for the drive, the mobility, let's say, in general, like new cars, electrical cars. In that specific case, there is the idea, well, it's more than idea, let's say, to replace the aluminum foil that is typically used in the cathodes today of the battery with the plastic film that eventually will have less risk of burning out during the recharge, heating up, and so on. But at the same time, the challenge there, it's a common challenge without saying too much about that. The common challenge that both applications has, despite they are far away one of each other, is the fact that, for instance, you need to metallize both faces, and to give a metal layer, deposit a metal layer on both faces. And you know that normally the plastic films are non-symmetrical. So you normally treat the face, make a treatment on a face to create the surface tension, but then when you do the second one, in the winding, you may have several potential problems. And this is the fact that they want the same numbers or the same performance for each phase in terms of the position, in terms of conductivity, in terms of other properties, let's say. This is making really a big challenge to our process as well. But indeed, the interest is there, and the market is looking to the metallization of plastic substrates to be used in that applications as well.
Yeah.
For the solar panel, I don't have any tips at the moment to release to you.
Right. No worries. And Mr. Vito, one final question. So, looking ahead, what do you think is going to be the biggest innovation in metallizing, and how is Nordmeccanica preparing to kind of embrace this change?
Well, I think I already answered somehow in this question. Now I repeat a bit. Of course, the scenario which are in front is quite foggy in a sense that the direction is 100% clear. No step back envisaged yet, so nobody will step back to the traditional market and stay there. So the change will occur, no way. When and how is the main question today is not clear exactly when, starting with the regulations, norms, the final one agreed regional, globally, and so on will be implemented, and of course, which will be the solution of which, or who will be the winner or the winners in each field of application. It's the other question mark. So it's not easy to say that there is let's say a single way of looking at it and try to be successful in the future. As said, the strategy of Nordmeccanica in this day has been clearly to invest a lot of effort and focus through is a demo center with dedicated staffing of engineers and machines, industrial machines available for tuning or modification to any kind of potential solution. Having a very strong partnership with major players in the field, from the raw materials downstream to the end user, and specific university, let's say, to be able to support from a theoretical part the developments. This is the one very solid and robust tactic, let's say, that Nordmeccanica is elected to have in-house and is pursuing. I can already announce that in June next May, most likely Nordmeccanica will be able to show through a machine, demo machine that will be also located at the exhibition, a very significant amount of results coming from this strategy, from this development program. But again, this is not the end of the story. We are captive, we are open, and we are ready to, try to be ready to take any opportunity, any possible change as they come, because this unclarity of the direction, but unclarity in terms of where we have to focus is going to be there for a while. And to say that we are not neglecting working with paper as well. We have some project also very specific dedicated to barrier paper that has been let's say, if you want a newcomer, paper is in the packaging since ever, but nobody considered since until a couple of years ago to use it for paper, for barrier properties in isolation as a single layer. Nowadays it's becoming more and more a reality, simply because recycling that is already a very, very consolidated, say, activity of practice.
Yeah.
Don't know if I've been...
No, it was a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Vito. And of course, the kind of experience and information and knowledge you have, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and discuss with you about what new changes are happening in this industry. And
okay.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.